Hello and welcome to Decision 2020. The jungle primary for the 2020 general election has begun. The top two candidates from the pack of candidates running this year will go on to the general in November. Let's take a look at the candidates. Taking a look at national polling, President Donald Trump leads the pack. Of course, it's pretty normal. The incumbent president does typically lead in the primary and will typically win states that they typically wouldn't in a general by bigger margins than they should. Donald Trump leads at 47%, and second is former Vice President Joe Biden at 27%. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is at 14%. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is at 4%. Former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg is at 3%. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar at 2%. And entrepreneur Andrew Yang at 1%. These are your 7 major candidates running tonight. Taking a look at the Iowa caucus, Donald Trump is the projected winner. He will go on to win the Iowa caucus here tonight, as he will go on to win 53% of the vote. A very big win for Donald Trump here tonight. Bernie Sanders is in second at 12%. Pete Buttigieg at 11%. Elizabeth Warren at 8%. Joe Biden at 7%, Amy Klobuchar at 6%, and Andrew Yang at 1%. Now, it is very strange to see the frontrunner amongst the Democrats, Joe Biden, in the bottom 3. Very poor performance from Joe Biden here tonight. And out of the Iowa caucus delegate numbers, Donald Trump will win all 81 delegates, as he was the only candidate to break 15%. Just in, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar is dropping her 2020 bid and will be endorsing Joe Biden for the nomination. South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg will also be suspending his campaign. He'll be also endorsing Biden. These two were expecting a strong performance in Iowa. However, they did not get that and are now dropping out of the campaign race. Out of the New Hampshire primary, Donald Trump is the projected winner. As we said earlier, the incumbent president typically does win states that he typically wouldn't in a general in the primary. However, Donald Trump did barely lose New Hampshire to Hillary Clinton back in 2016. So, maybe he will win New Hampshire come November if he does make it there. But, of course, he is at 47% in New Hampshire. Bernie Sanders at 23%, meaning these two will win delegates. Bernie Sanders will win his first batch of delegates from the Democrats in New Hampshire. Elizabeth Warren just shy of 50% threshold at 13%. Joe Biden at 8%, and Andrew Yang at 6%. And here's the delegate count. Donald Trump wins 29 delegates, and Bernie Sanders wins 17. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren has dropped out of the 2020 primary, and a shock to all progressives, she will be endorsing Joe Biden for the nomination, saying we need to unite together if we want to beat Donald Trump in November. Progressives are pretty pissed off with her, as they weren't already, due to the, accusation she made against Bernie Sanders earlier in the year, saying Bernie saying that a woman couldn't run, which is probably not true. Andrew Yang is also ending his 2020 White House campaign. He is also endorsing Biden. Out of the Nevada primary, Donald Trump is the projected winner, as he will go on to win 57% of the vote. Again, massive numbers that probably won't carry over in November. Bernie Sanders at 26% and Joe Biden at 16%, finally winning delegates in the primary. Trump winning 35 delegates, Bernie Sanders at 16, and Biden at 10. Out of South Carolina's primary, Donald Trump is the projected winner, so he will go on to win 61% of the vote. Joe Biden wins 25%, and Bernie Sanders wins 12%, so Bernie will not be winning delegates. Donald Trump will be winning 71 delegates, Joe Biden winning 33, and Bernie Sanders winning 0. And here is the delegate allocation before we head into Super Tuesday. Donald Trump is leading the pack by a large margin, 216 delegates. Biden, despite not, only coming in second in one primary, is in second, in the total delegate count at 43 delegates, and Bernie Sanders at 33 delegates. Out of Alabama's primary, Donald Trump will be the projected winner, as he will go on to win 65% of the vote here. Joe Biden at 25%, and Bernie Sanders only at 8%. Trump at 72 delegates, and Biden at 30. Out of American Samoa, no surprise here, Donald Trump will be the projected winner here. He has the most name recognition out of all 3 candidates. He will go on to win 40% of the vote. Bernie Sanders at 33%, and Joe Biden at 26%. Trump wins 6 delegates, Sanders wins 5, and Biden wins 4. Out of Arkansas's primary, Donald Trump is the projected winner as he goes on to win 67% of the vote. Joe Biden wins 19%, and Bernie Sanders wins 12%. Donald Trump will go on to win 53 delegates, and Biden wins 18, while Bernie wins nothing. Out of California's primary, Donald Trump is the projected winner, as he will go on to win in a state that he was definitely not winning in November, going on to win 43% of the vote. Bernie Sanders at 31%, and Biden goes on to win 25%. Trump goes on to win 253 delegates out of California, while Bernie wins 182, and Biden wins 152. Out of Colorado's primary, another state Trump is probably not going to win come November. He will be the projected winner here in the primary, as he will go on to win 50% of the vote outright in Colorado. Again, this won't carry over. However, this could say that Colorado could end up becoming competitive come November. However, Bernie is at 28% and Biden's at 21%. Donald Trump will win 52 delegates, Bernie wins 30, and Biden will go on to win 22 out of Colorado. Out of Maine's primary, now this is a state Trump could win in November. However, he did lose it against Hillary in 2016. Trump will go on to win 52% of the vote in Maine, 26% of the vote in Maine, and Bernie Sanders won 21%. Out of the delegate count out of Maine, Donald Trump will win 24 delegates, Biden will win 12, and Bernie will win 10. Out of Massachusetts, Donald Trump will be the projected winner in a state that he probably will not, and actually it's guaranteed that he won't win in November. However, he will go on to win 42% of the vote here in the state, while Biden goes on to win 31. A big surprise to a lot of Bernie supporters. However, this is probably due to Elizabeth Warren's endorsement, and Bernie wins 26%. And Donald Trump will go on to win 56 delegates out of Massachusetts. Biden wins 41, and Bernie wins 35. Out of Minnesota, Donald Trump will be the projected winner here, as he goes on to win 52% of the vote here. Biden at 26%, and Bernie at 21%. Trump wins 60 delegates, Biden wins 30, and Bernie wins 24. Out of North Carolina's primary, Donald Trump will be the projected winner as he goes on to win 56% of the vote here. Biden wins 26%, and Bernie wins 16%, meaning they all will win delegates. Trump will win 102 delegates, Biden wins 48, and Sanders wins 31. Out of Oklahoma's primary, Donald Trump is the projected winner, going on to win 70% of the vote here in one of the reddest states in the union. Joe Biden at 16%, and 13% goes to Sanders. Out of Oklahoma, the delegate count, Donald Trump wins 62 delegates, and Biden wins 18. Out of Tennessee, Donald Trump will easily win this primary, going on to win 65% of the vote. Biden wins 20%, and Bernie wins 13%, so he will not win delegates. So 89 delegates goes to Trump, 33 goes to Biden. Out of Texas primary, Donald Trump will be the projected winner, going on to win 58% of the vote here in the state of Texas, while Biden wins 22%, and Bernie wins 19%. Donald Trump wins 223 delegates, Biden wins 85, and Sanders wins 75. Out of Utah's primary, Donald Trump will be the projected winner here in the state of Utah, as he goes on to win 66 delegates, or 66% of the vote here in the state of Utah. Bernie wins 20%, and Biden wins 13%. So he will not win delegates. Trump will win 51 delegates out of Utah, and Bernie will win 18. Out of Vermont's primary, the first primary that is not being won by Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders will be the projected winner here in the state of Vermont. His home state, very popular here. He will go on to win 42% of the vote out of the state of Vermont. Donald Trump wins 36%, and Biden wins 21%. Bernie ends up winning 14 delegates, Trump wins 17, and Biden wins 7. Out of Virginia's primary, Donald Trump is the projected winner. He will go on to win this state, go on to win here by 49%. Probably won't carry over to November, though we'll just have to wait and see. Biden ends up winning 33%, and Sanders wins 17%. Donald Trump will go on to win 73 delegates out of Virginia, and Biden wins 49, while Sanders wins 26. Here's the delegate allocation after Super Tuesday. Trump has pretty much solidified himself as to going to the runoff general in 2020 with 1,404 delegates. Biden's at 592, and Bernie, despite winning the state of Vermont, something Biden hasn't done, win a primary, he's at 483. Now it's Super Tuesday 2, and out of Idaho, Donald Trump will easily win this primary, going on to win 67% of the vote. Joe Biden at 17% and Bernie at 15%. Donald Trump wins 35 delegates, Biden wins 9, and Sanders wins 8. Out of Michigan, Donald Trump will be the projected winner. He goes on to win the state by 50%. Biden wins 28%, and Sanders wins 20%. Donald Trump wins 100 delegates, Biden wins 7, and Sanders wins 41 delegates out of Michigan. Out of Mississippi, Donald Trump will be the projected winner as he goes on to win the 58% of the vote here in Mississippi. Joe Biden wins 34%, and Sanders wins 6%. Pretty abysmal. Out of the delegate count, Donald Trump will win 57 delegates, Biden wins 28, and Sanders will win nothing. Out of Missouri's primary, Donald Trump will win this state. Donald Trump going to win 59% of the vote, Biden wins 26, and Sanders wins 14, so he won't win any delegates. Speaking of delegates, Trump will go on to win 81, and Biden will win 41. Out of North Dakota's primary, Donald Trump is the projected winner, going on to win 67% of the vote here. Bernie Sanders will win 18%, and Biden will win 13, so he will not win any delegates. Donald Trump will end up winning 32 delegates, and Sanders will win 11. Out of Washington's primary, Donald Trump will be the projected winner, going on to win this primary by around 45%. Joe Biden wins 27%, and Bernie Sanders wins 26%. Trump will go on to win 60 delegates, Biden wins 37, and Sanders wins 36. Here's the delegate allocation after Super Tuesday 2. Donald Trump inching closer to 2,000 delegates as he is now at 1,759 delegates. Joe Biden at 764, and Bernie Sanders at 579. We can now make a huge call right now as Bernie Sanders has announced he is withdrawing from the 2020 primary, failing to, overtake Joe Biden in second place. He is withdrawing his candidacy and endorsing Joe Biden for the nomination. And we can now make the call that Joe Biden and Donald Trump will both advance to the general election come November. These two are the top two delegate getters in the 2020 primary, and they will go on to the general in 2020. And here is the final primary map. As you can see here, Donald Trump inches or, clinches his spot with 3,402, and Joe Biden at 528. Here's the map on your screen now.